peoples. Okay, I've actually written notes down this time so I don't go off track, because the last video I did that I had notes, I felt like it was much more concise and I didn't go off on my tangents. So today's video is going to be about how to incorporate using manifesting in like your daily life. Oh, by the way, this is my new house set. Don't you just love this light? Like, it's so cool. It looks like the Death Star from Star Wars. Hang on, just put it back on the bench. Sorry. I don't know where you were. I don't know. That'll do. Yes, I'm sitting. The kitchen is behind you, and I'm just at the kitchen bench. It's marble. Okay, how to incorporate manifesting into your daily life to make your life better, right? I thought of this the other day because I do these things all the time, and I sort of made a mental note like, oh, I really need to do a video about that. Because the more that you use manifesting on a daily basis, it's almost like you're exercising the muscle, and it's getting you trained to go like live in the end naturally. Like you just do this like second nature, because for 47 years it wasn't second nature. So it does take a little bit of getting used to, and then once you're used to doing it, it becomes second nature and things become so much easier. So we've got to stop focusing on like the problems, and we need to live in the end of solutions instead of focusing on the problems. So the first thing I wanted to sorry, I'm standing on something. The first thing I wanted to talk about, or give a personal story, I guess, is that this is the one that I probably use the most. I drive a lot because, as most of you that are in this group know, my parents live in the country in regional Victoria, and it's a 4-hour drive from Melbourne. So I tend to be driving a lot on big long drives, and my car is not exactly new, so I might occasionally have a worry or a thought that, oh shit, what if I break down in the middle of this fucking 4-hour drive and I'm in the middle of nowhere because country Victoria, and no one will be able to help me. And so occasionally I might have that worry or concern, and this is how I combat that. What I do is that as soon as I get in the car, now I don't actually have to do this at the start of the car. I can do this like before I've even gotten at the start of the day, but usually it's usually as I'm getting in the car, because it's just a habit now. But I get into the car, and what I do is I close my eyes literally for like 5 seconds, and I just imagine myself arriving at the end and seeing the clock. So this is if you want to do something to do with time, where if you're worried about getting somewhere on time or in one piece. What I do is I just imagine myself arriving at the end of my drive and going, oh, that was easy, or oh my God, thank God I got there on time. I just mentally think, oh, well, that was an easy drive, or, oh, I'm so glad I got here on time. This can be done if you're like running late to work or running late to a train or a bus or things like that. You imagine yourself already on the train or already on the bus or already at work, and you arrive on time and you go, oh, thank God I made it. You've always got to train your brain to go to the end. Instead of stressing out, oh fuck, I'm going to be late. Instead of doing that, you go to the end and you like just for 2 seconds or 5 seconds, you go to the end and you're like, oh, thank God I got here on time. Or, oh, thank God, what was I thinking of? Oh, I got here with plenty of time to spare. Whatever, mentally think that thought. And then once you've done it, you go like, right, I've locked it in, and then you just drive and you just get there. So that was the first thing. That was the first thing I wanted to talk about. So that would be to cover like that I already affirm that I'm always safe and protected and things like that anyway, and I've never actually broken down ever, so but it just calms my mind so that I'm not worried. I've already seen my end. I already know that I'm going to arrive because I've already created it in my mind. I create my day ahead of time, which brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk about, in that I don't have a specific example, but for anyone that has an event or something that's happening during your day that you're stressing over, maybe it's a doctor's appointment, maybe it's a phone call you have to make, maybe I'm trying to think of examples. Some sort of event that you're worried or stressed about that you have to attend during the day. What you do is that you stop focusing on the event itself and you go to after the event. So you're coming home after it's all done, after it's all over. And so my favorite one to actually do, and I do this a lot, is that I have a routine that I do just before I go to bed. So I'll go into the bathroom and I'll clean my teeth and I'll put moisturizing cream on my face, and then I get into bed. So what I do is at the start of the day, or if I'm thinking about something that's going to happen during the day, I just go to the end of the day. I imagine myself standing in front of the mirror, brushing my teeth, and I think to myself, thank God that worked out okay. Or I think mentally to myself, oh, I'm so happy that happened today. Or I'm so happy I got that today. Or however you want that day to work out, you just go to the end of the day. So you're basically manifesting whatever the outcome before it's even happened, sort of thing. You can also use this for if you want, honestly, you're just limited by your imagination. You can use these things for so many things. If you want a text message, then go to the end of the day, you're cleaning your teeth and you're thinking mentally like, oh my God, I can't believe that person messaged me today. Or, holy fuck, I can't believe they messaged me. Or whatever you would naturally think at the end of the day if you got what you wanted, right? Or maybe you want money. Well, you would go to the end of the day, you're standing in front of the mirror, brushing your teeth or brushing your hair or whatever your routine is, and you're mentally thinking to yourself, oh my God, I got money today. Actually, I'm trying to think what I would mentally think. I'd probably think to myself, I'm so glad I got that money today, or I can't think right now. I can't think. Whatever you would mentally think if you got the money, what would you think? So that's like a text message or contact, money. What else? What if you wanted good news from like a doctor or a dentist or something like that? You would go to the end of the day and you would just think to yourself, thank God those test results came out positive, or the test results came out negative, or thank God everything worked out perfectly, or I don't have any fillings, or anything you want. You just incorporate it with that end routine at bedtime. What else? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. My notes were just the scenes that I do, not all the examples underneath. I guess you could also use it to solve problems, because you don't actually have to do my routine. You can do whatever your routine is, but you just mentally put yourself into the version of you that's going to bed that night, and you think to yourself, I'm so glad that all worked out. I'm so glad that all just worked out for the best. So that could be solving any problem, really. Or what if you had to pay rent or something and you were short on rent? You would just put yourself after the day that you've paid it, and you'd think to yourself, oh, thank God that's paid. Thank God I got the money somehow, and thank God the money turned up and I was able to pay that bill. You've got to mentally always put yourself after. Stop focusing on the problem and focus on the solutions. What else? Solving problems, you could do it just basically to have a good day. If you just want to have one of the best days of your life kind of thing, like when you're waking up in the morning, you mentally put yourself into the version of you that's going to bed that night, and you mentally think, my God, today was freaking awesome. And just watch what happens. Test all this shit out. Do these things. You've got to continually do these things to build the manifesting muscle. Because when you start doing this naturally every day, then you're building up that faith and belief that you can manifest anything, and you're the one that's completely in control of your life. And it makes, if you're doing all these little things constantly every day, then the big things don't seem as big anymore, because what's the difference? There is no difference, really. It's just you thinking there's a difference. Okay, so moving on, I've got here sport team wins. So this is something I do all the time. And no, it doesn't always work, but it does actually work a lot of the time. So I'll sit down to watch my team play. Now, I don't know what happens in other sporting teams, like in rugby or gridiron or NFL or all of those things. But in Australia, we have AFL. And at the end of the game, whoever wins, they play the anthem, what do you call it? I've just gone mentally blank. The sporting team's theme song, right? So the game will start, and I will just close my eyes for 5 seconds, and I will imagine the end, and I'll start to hear the Essendon theme song, see the bombs fly up, and I'll sing it to myself, and I'll imagine myself clapping, going, yay, we won, kind of thing. And then I just exit out of that scene, and then I watch the game. Now, do I sit there the whole time thinking, oh yeah, we've got this made, we're gonna win? Hell no, I still worry and doubt, but I keep thinking, I just keep going back to the scene going, no, but I've seen the end. I've seen the end. I've seen the end. And once you're used to doing this process for stuff like that, you'll realize that, say if you're manifesting something big like an SP, right? You still it's exactly the same thing. You're going to the end, but you still have all this worry and ups and downs in the middle. But you kind of just keep reminding yourself, no, but I've seen the end. I know what the end is. I know that we win. I know that we win because I've already created it in my imagination. And it's the same with an SP. I know we're going to end up together because I've already seen it. I've already created the end. So yeah, sometimes the middle can be messy, which is actually the tapping I was working on this morning. I had half of it written. I was just trying to finish it off, and then I will film that soon. Okay, so that's the sporting team. You just go to the end and see your team winning, and then you sit there watching the game. And the same thing can be done with anything. Seeing anyone win, not just sporting teams. I'm trying to think, elections. You just go to the end and you just visualize or imagine what would happen if the person you wanted to win would win. Because remembering that it's your reality and we're all in our own realities, so whoever you want to win will win in your reality, but that does not mean they win in other people's realities, because we're all in our own realities and there are multitudes of versions of everyone. Anyway, we might get into that into a different video, not this one. Okay, I've got here pain. Oh, this one's actually a really good one because I was on my feet a lot at the music festival. I did over like 30,000 steps and my feet started hurting again. And last year I went through a period of a couple of months where I can't remember how you actually pronounce it, but it's when the bottoms of the feet are really sore and swollen and inflamed. It's plantar fasciitis or something like that. I was dealing with that for quite a while. And I just kept telling myself, I just literally kept telling myself, my feet don't hurt, my feet don't hurt, when they were fucking hurting. And because I did so much walking over the couple of days when I was away, they're starting to hurt today. So even though they're really hurting right now at this moment, I know it's not going to last because I have already imagined the end. I've already done this morning when I got up, I imagined me going to bed tonight going, oh, my feet don't hurt anymore. That's how we do it. That's how we live in the end. I'm not concerned, and I said this in the video about living in the end the other day. I'm not concerned with whatever's happening in the 3D right now, which is the fact that my feet are fucking hurting. I'm actually wearing sneakers in the house because they're memory foam sneakers to soften them a little bit. But I know, but by the end of today, my feet won't hurt anymore because I've already imagined the end. And as I said with the football game, it doesn't always work like the same day. Sometimes it might take a few goes. So I'll probably do it again tomorrow morning and the next morning just to make sure that, by the time I get to the end of the day, I'm like, oh, my feet didn't hurt today. Oh, my feet didn't hurt today. So I've already made my end where my feet don't hurt anymore. So I guess I'm not okay, hang on. Let me explain. What happens is that when you're trying to manifest them not to hurt, you're more so, some people get caught up in the fact that my feet are hurting, right? And you're focusing on the fact that they're hurting and you're trying to get it to stop hurting instead of, I know I've seen the end, so I know that they're going to stop hurting. I'm not focusing on them hurting, I'm focusing on the fact that I know that they'll stop. You see that there's a little bit of a difference there? So you've got to stop focusing on the problem and you've got to focus on the solution, the end. So my focus is on the end, not the fact that my feet are hurting right now. And I'm trying to get it to stop hurting. Yeah. All right. Job interviews. I don't recommend that you have a scene of the actual job interview or anything like that. You always go to after. So when you get home at night and maybe you pick up the call and it says you got the job and you're like, oh my God, I got the job. Oh my God, I got the job, kind of thing. Or you can imagine yourself speaking to your best friend or your parents or something like that, and you're telling them, oh, I got the job. It went so well. I got the job, kind of thing. I highly, highly, highly recommend always going to after the end, like the next day or something like that. I regularly manifest things through imagining, talking to either Shelby or Tiffany or Tess in this group, by me just voice noting them and saying, oh my God, guess what just happened? Or, oh my God, guess who just messaged me? And things like that. I find that one of the easier ones to do. So I'm not focusing or doing a scene of the actual thing that's happening. I'm just going to the end of telling someone, oh my God, this has just happened. Okay. I think I did the car. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go back in my memory about the car ride. So I did getting to the place, I did say on time, like you look down at the time, and if you want to say you want to get somewhere by 5 o'clock, I feel like I'm leaning over because the closer I get, never mind. Say you want to get to somewhere by 5 o'clock and maybe, getting stuck in traffic, and you need to be somewhere by 5 o'clock. Well, what you would do is you just close your eyes and you see yourself getting there with like 5 minutes to spare or something, and you're like, oh my God, thank God I got here on time. I did say that earlier, but I don't think I included the actual time. Yeah. So I've got a clock in my car. I think everyone does. And usually I just look down at the clock in my car and I make it say whatever I want it to say. Okay, I think I've covered everything on my list that I wanted to reference. As I said, you're only limited by your imagination. There are so many things that we can manifest. We just don't, we don't think, we're not, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not thinking usually outside the box. If I think of anything else, I'll do another video. But I think I've covered most of it. Oh, I know, sorry. I wanted to talk about weight loss or weight gain. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. You can use any of these techniques for weight loss or weight gain. One, you could be telling your friend, oh my God, I lost all this weight, or I gained all this weight. I don't recommend that you make a scene of looking down at the scales and seeing the numbers on the scales. It's just that a lot of people are really emotionally, what's the word I'm looking for? Some people are traumatized. They have trauma attached or old memories attached to looking down at the scales and it not saying the thing that you want. So I probably, from just my personal opinion, is I don't recommend that. I think that weight loss can be done in other ways. Telling a friend that you've lost weight, or hearing your friends say to you, oh my God, you're looking so good. Have you lost weight? Trying on a favorite dress and like it just slipping on, and it's like, oh my God, I must have lost weight. Oh my God, this fits so easy. I must have lost so much weight because this is like flowing on me, or something like that. Yeah, I think I've covered all of it now. This is me thinking out like in my head. All right, I'm gonna finish now. There was another video that I wanted to do. I was going to do, I'll do it in a couple of days, but it will be about manifesting multiple things at once. Okay, that's it. I'm done. See you, bye.